What's up, guys? Welcome to App Judgment, your source for mobile application news and reviews. I'm on the floor of GDC, sitting next to Zach Gage, who is the developer of Spelltower, and Jeff Cannata from the Totally Rad Show.
Hi.
Hello, guys. How are you, Zach?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yeah?
But good.
Good, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're good. You are about to show us multiplayer Spelltower, which is not out yet. And Jeff, you are a kind of a Spelltower fanatic.
I am. I love the Spelltower. And the Spelltower hates my free time. But I love the Spelltower.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited to see how you have implemented multiplayer. So tell me about the different modes.
Oh my God, I wish there were. There are only sort of different modes in this build.
Tell us about the sort of different modes.
Yeah.
Well, so the main one is Rush versus. So if you played Rush, it's kind of like that, but with somebody else. So it's sort of like Tetris Attack or Puyo Puyo.
Okay.
You're trying not to have your tower hit the top, and you're trying to drop stuff on your opponent.
Okay.
So that's the main one we're going to play today. The other one that I'm working on is having some kind of like turn-based async one.
Okay.
Over the internet, but that's super hard to implement in Spelltower. It turns out like the mechanic doesn't really support it, so it's taken like a lot of work. But I think I finally have something that's kind of good, but still keeping it under
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
totally.
two people working off the same tile set?
So that's what I really wanted it to be, and that's what I was trying for a long time. But it turns out that Spelltower is like one of its strengths is kind of that you don't really know what to do. You kind of have a lot of options.
You could sit forever.
Right.
You could sit forever on your turn.
Yeah, and it's good because like, all right, I'll do this or not or whatever, and you don't feel pressured. But when you're playing against somebody else, because the field of options is so big, you never know what they're gonna do, and you can never make a move against them. There's no like tactical element. So I had to adjust it somewhat.
Interesting.
So are we looking at this is over Wi-Fi, this is over Bluetooth, local, what different ways can we do this?
So this is over Bluetooth local,
Okay.
and the turn-based will be over the internet, like long distance.
Gotcha. So you're gonna demonstrate against Jeff here, and Jeff,
He's going to own me. I'm sure of it.
You were actually telling me about this. You were like, yeah, no, I made it. I'm not particularly great at it.
No, I'm terrible, actually. I hate word games, but
I
now
hate
I'm
word
okay.
games. That's awesome.
But,
Spelltower, the word game for people who hate word games, which is kind of true, actually, because I don't particularly like word games.
I love word games,
Yeah.
though.
All right,
So what does that
and-
make me?
and people.
Target demographic is what that makes you. So yeah, if you both of you guys each grab a handset here, and let's see how it goes. You score a word that's in the same as their like super high column. Does it affect their super high column?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah. And
I can see a horizon, Jeff.
Yeah. Now I understand. Now, is there a way for me to like target a specific line to kill you?
no, there's no
Okay.
way. It's all just. It's still totally random. Otherwise,
Okay.
it would, I think, be a little bit too dangerous. But so the way that it drops pieces is that basically if you get a 3 or 4 letter word, it'll drop kind of the amount that you drop. So like 3 versus an iPhone is worth 2 and 4 is worth 3. But if you get anything more than that, it will drop all the letters of the word. So like 5 is 5, and then plus some kind of multiplier of the extra pieces. So like if you're playing versus an iPad, it'll drop 1.5 times the extra pieces. So
Because it's easier to do a word on an iPad.
right.
Right.
And actually because there are more rows on the iPad, so there's actually a lot more space. So it really is worth it to get those really big words, but still harassing with little small words is also important. And actually another thing that's kind of cool is when you're playing on...
Oh, I was about to do a worry. I was about to do worry and he got me.
Try one more.
Trying again.
So another thing that's kind of nice
Sex.
is... I know
First
a
word is
lot of
sex.
Res.
Second word is Jew.
Keep going along that path, Jeff. Where are we gonna end up?
Third word is goo.
Jot. So another of the neat things is a lot of people would play like with their girlfriend or with a friend, like on the iPad, because you can kind of collaborate.
Many times I've done that.
That happens a lot.
And so when I was testing it with a bunch of my friends,
I just made toot, by the way, T-O-O-T, thank you.
who are super good at it, one of them was so good that nobody could beat him, and I haven't implemented any kind of handicapping yet. But
Flare.
my
As in gun or pieces of?
As in pieces of.
Mix. But then, so me and my girlfriend challenged him, 2 of us on one iPad versus him, and it was awesome. It was like a really cool way to have like a kind of a natural handicap.
So the next up is Spelltower Tag Tournament then.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And it's going to be only women characters.
Right.
Zune is not a word, not an acceptable word. Just for.
So many times I try to do brands and abbreviations and places, and I'm just like, I have been brainwashed by society, and I wish I had an actual vocabulary.
Yeah.
You don't need to directly comment on that. I'm just putting that there for your.
He's gonna beat me again, dude. This is not cool.
I'm going to beat you with sad. Yeah. I did. Beat you with sad.
Have you considered in the iPad version, like doing a 2-player Tetris thing where you see the other person's grid on your screen too?
Oh, I hadn't, but that's a really interesting idea.
I now own 30% of Spelltower.
Well, so one thing, so in there's like a gray grid in the background that represents sort of my tower, but you can't see it if your tower is too high, so I still have to kind of adjust that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Cool,
Okay, cool.
I did notice like that kind of shadowy bit on yours,
Yes.
so that's actually the other person's status.
Yeah.
That's very
cool. And then actually, to your point though, with 2 on the same, one of the things I really want to do is this summer I built an arcade machine in my living room so that I could put my friends' indie games on it. And one of the things I really want to make is a 2-player version of this that's on one screen where you play with joysticks versus the other person.
Oh wow, very cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That is like the ultimate bar game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would
How
love to
about
sit in a bar and do that.
Xbox Live Arcade or PSN? maybe?
Yeah, what's up with that?
We'll see.
That would be awesome.
She's like backing away from the microphone. He's like, I have no comment on that at this time.
It would be super cool if it's fun, like that would be, and someone will program it for me.
So let me ask you this: how far along is multiplayer Spelltower? When are we gonna get to see it?
I'm hoping that I will submit it to Apple by the end of this month. I'm a little bit waylaid because I want to put out a Retina version for like the new fancy Retina, so which is good because I've got a lot of bugs.
Those fonts are gonna be so crisp.
They're going to be so crisp. People have told me some really uncomfortable things about how they feel about this font, actually. But,
Really?
What uncomfortable things? Do tell.
Just really like, they just really like it. That's all I'm gonna. Yeah.
You got some sexual comments about your font.
Yeah. You know,
I like it.
I wish I'd made the. No, actually, I don't want to get any closer to any of this
The
comments.
sexiest word game on the App Store. If they want to keep up with the development, Zach, where do they go?
The best way is to just follow me on Twitter, and I'm at Helvetica, which is pretty easy to remember because I think everybody's heard of that.
It's a font in and of itself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for showing it to us, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by and playing.
Oh, awesome. I love Spelltower, so
Yeah, cool. And
I want a rematch.
Go subscribe to Jeff's show, Totally Rad Show. He loves games. He loves Spelltower. You're gonna like this guy.